China's Ministry of Health estimates that over 700,000 people in the country live with HIV and that nearly 50,000 have died of AIDS. And the country's HIV/AIDS Prevention and Control Office recently warned of what it called the very serious situation facing the southern autonomous region of Guangxi. The population of around 50 million is one of the most severely affected by HIV/AIDS in the country, with about 30 new infections every day. Gao Xianmei lives in a rural area near the city of Hezhou in Guangxi. This 35-year-old farmer is one of over 4,000 reported HIV/AIDS cases in this district of about 2 million residents. Up till recently in China, those most vulnerable to the disease were intravenous drug users, homosexuals, unofficial blood donors, sex workers and migrant laborers. But in recent years, transmission has expanded to other sectors. Gao Xianmei does not fit neatly into any of the high-risk categories.
I went to a doctor for the same test immediately after my husband told me his result. I can't remember exactly what was on my mind when I knew I was also HIV positive. I felt huge pressure.
In Hezhou, it is now low-income groups that are most affected by the disease. Farmers, migrant workers and the unemployed make up about 80% of the rising number of HIV/AIDS infections.
We will have more work to do in the future as the number of infected cases is mounting here.
Sufferers and AIDS activists also face an uphill struggle in battling deep-rooted prejudice against those with the disease. A recent UN AIDS report showed that 15% of those with HIV/AIDS in China had been refused employment.
The HIV-positive people and AIDS patients face great pressure. They have a sense of stigma and feel inferior. What they are facing is a discrimination environment in the society. Thus, they are afraid of appearing in front of the public. They don't have a chance to vent out their agony, only to hide their pain deeply in their heart. Discrimination comes from both the family and the community. Some couples chose divorce after the husband or wife was infected. Their parents wouldn't accommodate the evicted ones, and their neighbors stopped to socialize with them.
Gao Xianmei has experienced both negative and positive reactions from residents of her own small rural area, but she still prefers her face not to appear on screen.
In our village, most neighbors remain friendly to our family after they know my husband and I are HIV positive, but a few started to keep distance and looked on us coldly. But it doesn't matter. I don't care. I just live my own life, stand on my own foot, regardless of their prejudice.
Here in Beijing, the Ministry of Health says most reported cases in the capital originate from other provinces. It blames lack of awareness about the disease among rural migrants for pushing this group into the high-risk category. The ministry also says it's working to reduce discrimination at the local level. Back in Guangxi, Gao Xianmei has joined an organization called Red Lotus Group. This is sponsored by UNICEF and the Hezhou Center for Disease Control. It offers psychological and financial support for affected families. For Gao Xianmei, this has meant a loan of 3,000 yuan, about $400, which she has used for her farm. But perhaps more important is the non-judgmental recognition of her plight and the boost to her self-esteem, which has made the future a little brighter.
As for the future, I'm very confident. If I work hard, my life will be better.
Neva Wyman, BON.